What's up, guys? It's Flossin. So, Zenless Zone Zero just released a dev talk the other day going over their ideals and future for Season 3, while also giving us a sneak peek at what they're doing. And while I could just give you a summary of what they said, I find that kind of boring. Instead, I'd rather open the conversation up more to two major topics I found really interesting: the world building direction of Zenless Zone Zero, as well as the combat. While I think what they showed us is amazing and a good step, I think we could have another Season 2 on our hands if it's not handled correctly. So today, I want to talk about the Season 3 dev talk and give my own personal thoughts and insights about what we could add or need to add for world building, as well as some constructive criticism I believe the game needs as far as combat to fully feel fresh and alive. If you guys enjoy discussion videos like these and want to see more, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's completely free and lets me know you enjoy this type of content. Now, with formalities out of the way, let's talk games. So, the dev talk started out pretty strong, with them hinting right off the bat at a playable proxy character in the future. Could be interesting. But I want to focus on two things that really stood out to me during this talk: the world building of Zenless Zone Zero and the interactions with enemies in this game. The devs want to go in a new direction with making the world feel more real and expansive, like being able to walk into shops and things like that. And I think this is great, but it also worries me a bit, and I'll explain why. See, while I love that Zenless has given me a completely different feel for what a gacha game is, both with its stunning visuals and snappy combat, I don't feel like we're building upon those foundation blocks we started with. The first major building block being world building. Sure, adding new buildings and places to walk into is fine, but I don't think they've mastered yet what it really means to build a world. From the beginning of the game, the world felt real. Interactions between playable characters felt like real arguments or banter. You could see playable characters arguing on the street about what they want for lunch. Characters would appear outside arcades or at the mall without it being tied to a trust event or an award. Everything just felt like a life you were living in. However, over time, I started to feel that shift, especially in Season 2. With things like everyone's favorite Deus Ex Machina, Yijun, I never saw Yunquei Summit out buying groceries or talking to the locals. I know that these are small examples, but they add to the world building. And this is why I want to emphasize world building and steer away from the main story, because those two are vastly different. Now, I understand Zenless is a live service game, but being able to interact with the game's characters or environment on a deeper level allows me to actually get more immersed instead of instantly thinking, I don't care what this NPC is saying, let me do my dailies, I'm at max charge. It would feel more like a game instead of a gacha game. And that's actually why I liked Zenless originally. But right now, there isn't much else to do outside of story or combat. And so when you build a game that has semi-world building, I'm naturally just going to explore Zenless. And something I want to bring up is the Season 2 exploration area. I actually really like this a lot, probably more than any other content creator in the space. And I said it was a great step in the right direction, but, and this is a GUN but, if they don't flesh it out and make it more interactive or make me want to go back and explore, it's gonna fall flat. And that's exactly what happened. I don't want to just run around and bump into enemies. I want choices, like running into bandits stuck in a hollow and choosing to help them or leave them. You know, just more agency over what I'm doing. Guys, I've played a lot of games, and one thing that stays true to the greatest games of all time is that devs who think like players make amazing games. There's a game I've been picking up casually again called Baldur's Gate 3. And honestly, that game has to be the essence of world building. See, in Baldur's Gate 3, I could run into the outskirts of a shipwreck, open a crate with a key and a letter in it, and that letter leads me to a hidden basement with a whole bunch of gold in it, you know? Something small that turns into an entire side quest that I never would have found had I not taken the 20 seconds out of my time to check a single crate in the game. And now, going forward, it might make me want to check everything. I might check every box in the game. I might check every chest in the game. I might read every letter in the game in case it leads to buried gold or treasure somewhere. That is essentially the point. The world feels alive because I'm rewarded for being curious, not just there's more buildings to walk into. Now again, I'm not asking Zenless to be this insanely expansive game, but just use elements from games that are already successful. Don't reinvent the wheel. Zenless could do something similar and even reward players with polychrome for exploring. And if they really wanted to take it a step further, this polychrome could be a hidden achievement, which kind of transitions into an area I really want to talk about. There's a creator I used to watch when I played Honkai Star Rail a bunch, called nakfrg. nakfrg was a content creator who would go out of his way every patch, no matter what, to achievement hunt, including the hidden ones in the game. Why would nakfrg do this? Well, it's simple really. It's because the world of Honkai Star Rail is actually worth exploring. Now, say what you want about Star Rail. Holy power creep, holy yap fest, black screen, white text, but there is something I remember about Star Rail. It's how fleshed out the world was. If I didn't feel like fighting in the main quest, I could go explore Herta's space station and start petting a random dog. If Jing Yuan was boring me to death with whatever phrasing or wording he's using that I don't understand without the Star Rail wiki in front of me, I just went and talked to the MILF Fox lady who was dealing with mother-daughter issues. That was way more entertaining than the main story. Was the entrance to Penacony too traumatic for my brain to handle and process? Okay, let me take a break and go explore Vegas and gamble my life savings away. See, although all these interactions were considered side quests in the game, what made it feel real was how it was presented. It felt meaningful. And again, this wouldn't have happened had I not just stumbled across it. That's what I want for Zenless world building. More meaning. Like imagine you walk on 6th Street and you're knocking on doors. Majority of the time, nothing happens, but sometimes someone answers. No big reward, no cinematic moment, just a interaction. I said earlier in the video, it's harder for Zenless to do this because it's a live service game, but after talking about Star Rail, they absolutely have the resources. It kind of just depends on the direction that they want to take it. So I'll finish this section with this. The devs are going in a good direction with exploration and interiors, but they can't get lazy. Adding more places doesn't really matter if there's nothing meaningful inside of them. But let's transition to combat. So right away, they announced a new wind element. Whoa, crazy. Oh my god, I never saw that coming. Just like I have no idea what Prometheus animations look like. Okay man, let me chill. They said that wind is coming in 2.8 with a new boss where using anomalies triggers a vortex effect. Now, while I'd love to break down how wind works, start cooking up theories for you guys, the devs were extremely vague about it, so I'll just say this. A new element is great. It adds depth to combat. But it also comes with concerns. For instance, if wind heavily favors anomaly, what happens when a wind character comes out that's focused on crit? Or vice versa. If wind heavily favors crit, what happens when a wind anomaly character comes out? That imbalance could be a problem. I won't go too deep because it's speculation and the devs would really have to break the game for this to happen, but adding a new element does change things a lot more than people think. Now, let's talk about the enemies, because I think this is the biggest part. I'm not gonna lie guys, enemies in this game have gotten bland for me. If it's not a new boss that's been released in the current patch, older enemies have not evolved. They have no new mechanics, no changes. They did this with Pompeii and the Butcher, but then they stopped. I don't know why. It's just very repetitive. Luckily though, the devs said they want to bring back older enemies with new mechanics. And oh lord, thank God. Because in almost every other game, especially games that are PvE, giving older enemies newer mechanics or abilities is kind of just normal. I want to mention Baldur's Gate 3 again. Oh my god, the game's so good. In the game, there's a mode called Honor Mode, where enemies get stronger, and on top of that, they gain new abilities, depending on which enemy. Now, what might have felt like an easy fight in your favor on the regular balance mode, it instantly feels unfair and like the game is cheating you in Honor Mode. A one-on-one fight with an NPC actually feels like you could die to them. And Usually when I feel cheated in a game, I say out loud, wow, what a boring mechanic. Who designed this game? And then I spend the next 30 minutes on the wiki trying to figure out how to kill said boss. Yes, I think it's unfair and boring when it first happens to me, but what am I gonna do about it? Am I gonna cry like a baby? Or am I gonna overcome the obstacle? This is where I think Zenless needs to step it up. And I'll be totally honest, this might even sound elitist, but I want Zenless to cheat even more. Because right now, for me at least, after 1 or 2 tries on a new stage or against a new boss, I have a rough understanding of what I need to do and what the boss wants to do. It becomes predictable. And I know when people hated when I brought this game up, but I don't care, I'm gonna do it again. Marvel Rivals proves unfair mechanics work. That game is full of BS. Is it Spider-Man swinging from spawn all the way back to the fight in 5 seconds? Is it Magneto launching a giant ball of metal that one-shots you? Or is it Luna Snow dancing for 10 seconds saying, haha, you can't kill anyone on my team? I can't tell you how much BS goes on in Rivals. Getting pushed around, Doctor Strange solo ult me in the back line, Panther killing my whole team before we even get a fight, my whole team going 5 DPS. It's just so infuriating, so unfair, and I have 1,200 hours in the game. I have 1,200 hours in the game. See, what makes me get back on Marvel Rivals every time, despite the bad games, is the thought of perseverance. I don't know what it is, but when the odds are stacked against me, when it feels grim, that's when I become the best player I can possibly be. And I think that sense of perseverance needs to be more rewarding in Zenless. Bring back Priest with BS mechanics. Bring back Bringer with BS mechanics. If bosses are actually challenging in this game, like I said back in 1.4 when we were talking about HP, you don't need to keep increasing HP every single patch. And this concept is universal to all games. You can make a game where every character does 1 damage, and seeing an enemy with 50 HP is terrifying. You can also do the vice versa, where a character does 100 million damage and the enemy has 200 billion gajillion damage. I mean, guys, just look at Star Rail. But yeah, I think that's enough yapping out of me. Guys, there's a lot more in the dev talk I could talk about, and I could go on and on and on, but I'll just hold myself back for now. These dev talks are great for the community because they give us feedback before things are even finalized. And I think that creates a healthy system between the developer and the player. But because of all this yapping I've been doing about Zenless and other video games, this whole thing has me really curious. What do you guys think? How do you feel about the Zenless Season 3 dev talk? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And what content are you excited about that I didn't touch on in this video? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, big shout out to my Discord boosters and YouTube members. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible. So thank you. But until next time, happy gaming. Bye. And may your pulls be ever in your favor.